Yes, that's right. Welcome to another episode of Psycho's Platters, always powered by coffee each and every time. This was a last minute thing. I didn't even alert the VC Justice League on this one because I just kind of thought maybe we would go for at least a little while. You know what I'm saying? Ethan, if you hear any coughing, Ethan's a little bit, but he's here. And Toby Beans is somewhere around here, Lord knows. But welcome, everybody. It was a little after 6 o'clock, my time, Central Standard, here on a Friday night. I know Friday nights are not always the best. They're not always the best to do things. I understand that, But I thought we'd do a short stream, nothing too fantastic on this one, nevertheless, So I hope everybody's doing fine. It got to it was cold today. Not really, really cold, but like about, it almost got to 50, almost. Would you believe down here by Wednesday, they're saying 70 degrees by Wednesday here in Northwest Arkansas. And the next day, it'll be minus 20. That's how the hell it is down here. I ended up, my son, we all went out and had a wonderful, wonderful Mexican meal at a nice sit-down place. Unfortunately, no, because he got you good this time. But I'm glad you're here. I am. Like I said, I didn't alert any of the VC Justice League. This was just a last-minute thing. So, and you know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I really don't have a lot to talk about, but I miss being connected with you guys. Fug, yes. Well, I don't have any Fugs. If I don't have any Fugs records, we have to talk about that another day. I did have some Fugs records. I had, what was it? The one on Reprise. I did have that at one point or another for the Fugs. I just happened to turn on YouTube at the right time. Fact. That's right. That's absolutely right. You and the almost dozen people we have already here. So, work was work. I cannot wait to at least get down to semi-retirement. I'm serious. I hope I get to that point. I keep falling apart, though, If it's not this eyeball problem that I got right now, which, Wednesday we'll have that figured out, hopefully. It's my hands are starting to do things on their own. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm falling apart. Psycho's falling apart. Maybe I'll end up like that cartoon, where it's a cartoon jalopy or even Three Stooges. They did this, where they drive the car and then they get to the destination and all four wheels and everything comes apart. That's going to probably be me. Did you watch the Fire Aid concert last night? Pretty good. Fact. No, I didn't, but I heard that Stephen Stills and Graham Nash performed together for the first time in 10 years. They sang background on Teach Your Children, but I was looking in the Crosby, Stills, Nash fan page group over on Facebook, and they're saying that Stephen Stills didn't sound really good, and I'm like, you can't always sound mighty fine forever. It just doesn't happen that way. Yep. Fire Aid. We can turn any. Let's see. I think we could probably blame Live Aid for this. Okay. And I know you're sitting here going, what the hell are you talking about, Psycho? Well, 40 years ago this summer will be Live Aid. Okay. 40th anniversary. Does that make you feel old yet? But, okay. I should really digress. There were charity concerts before then, obviously. George Harrison's Bangladesh. Concerts for Camp Yachia. Okay. But Live Aid pretty much on a global scale, kick things up. So now anybody will use, tragedy or not, an excuse to do these things. They're only going to allow a 24-hour replay of you want to see it fact. Oh, okay. I bet you the reason why for the 24-hour replay is because they're going to go put it on like a paywall or a DVD Blu-ray type thing down in the future. I'm not entirely sure who was on the lineup for this fire aid thing. But what I'd like to know is, because Fire comes in here in my chat, did Fire get to watch Fire Aid? Or did Fire have to keep busy making fires so that they could continue to have Fire Aid? Sometimes that's a very hamster wheel effect. Yes, it is. Stevie Nicks was great. Well, gee, Richard's going to want to hear that. He will. Randy, how you doing, my good man? How are you doing? I'll tell you. Sorry, gang. I feel a little whooped. Not sick, just tired. I did get some new stuff we're going to try when it comes to bedtime to see if that'll help, because I've been having issues for months on that too. And I know, before you guys say anything, well, maybe you should cut back on the coffee. Impossible. That is impossible. That is not in my vocabulary. And I did pick up some clearance coffee today. Let's see, what did I get? I got clearance Starbucks Holiday Blend. I got clearance IHOP. The hell was it? Cinnamon? I think cinnamon. And Black Rifle, they're hunting coffee. So I got all those on clearance, so I could put them in the coffee stash. I said stash. Hey, Elvis Cup. No, that's not in my lexicon of language, sir. It does not exist. Stevie Wonder, Sting. Oh, did Sting wrestle Stevie Wonder and Flea? See what I did there? Doing Higher Ground together. Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool. I'll give them that. Oh, so sorry. Man, oh man. But, like I said, I hope everybody's doing well out there. I trying to think. Like I said, we got a lot more concerts coming through the area here. I wish I was closer to OKC though, because there's a lot more heavier bands and hair metal bands coming through. I don't know. I mean, I heard that they announced, and I can't remember what the hell they're calling it, but it's Styx and Don Felder and Kevin Cronin's band, and I'm just like, we're starting to dilute the music experience. I'm working on a video plea as we speak about REO Speedwagon. That will be coming up probably within a week. And I'm going to send it to everybody involved, so we can maybe try to have one classic era band back for a mini tour. They needed to, REO needed to go out the right way. Okay. And it just didn't happen. Now, this guy here, I know, would be willing to go into that REO offshoot. And could he replace Kevin Cronin? I think anybody can.
I think so.
Yes.
Kevin Cronin's voice is a little thin now. When he sings, it's very like wispy and Nowhere does he sound like he used to.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone's getting old. I understand.
yeah. Now I did get to see REO once. That was it. Okay, and
Right.
unfortunately, it wasn't during the 70s and 80s, which would have been better. This was in 2009 or 2010. Okay,
Right.
and I think I told a little bit of this story before, but it was REO Speedwagon and Bare Naked Ladies. It was a
Huh.
it was a Walmart shareholders concert. Okay, that's free for us. You know,
Right.
all we needed to show was a badge. We could bring in a couple guests each person. Okay,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
so I brought Jess, and Jess wanted to see Bare Naked Ladies.
Mm.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, I mean, I know the Big Bang theme song was around at that time too, and
Yeah.
of course, I heard of another few too, but I was really curious about REO. Now, the thing is, they screwed up, and what I mean by that is Walmart screwed up the whole planning of that concert because REO went on first. I said first,
Oh,
and
wow.
I am going, wait a minute. This does not sound right. Randy says, I found four tubes of vintage Testers model. Holy McMoly.
Nice.
Yes, I remember that stuff. I do. Testers, my God. But they played every REO hit, and
Right.
they did play a track or two from the um, Find Your Way Home CD, the one that came out in 07, 08, which was like the last thing they really did together. So I mean,
Hey, Paul, I got to back right out and come right back in. My phone's freezing for some
okay,
reason. Let me
okay,
just do that.
sure. Anyways, so I did get to see them. The Kevin Cronin, Bruce Hall, Neil Doherty version. And they played good. They did play good. Okay, but the thing that kind of made it a little odd, and maybe you people that have seen REO in the last 20 years, tell me if I'm just being an idiot or you agree with me on this. When he was singing, oh, you're pulling a Richard, huh?
Nuts.
When Kevin was singing, it sounded a little off, and he had some recent at that time. I think he had some recent plastic surgery, and it just I can't explain it, guys. It threw the vocals off, and it annoyed me through the whole damn show. And I am just like going, yeah. Now I have a buddy of mine, of course, one of my best friends up in Illinois, Scott, lives there. Him and his uncles have seen REO many, many times. His uncle is like a super fan, okay? And he got to see them back in, I think, in the glory days too,
Yeah.
But hey, Sean, how you doing? But
What's up, Sean?
Of course, let's see here a minute.
Eric, how you doing, brother?
I want to go and play an old school one. I wasn't planning on it, but I figured, what the hell? And like I said, my radio stations here played it. They did play it.
Really?
But well, yeah. All right. So let's see. Now this is the original version. Okay. I know I'll have to play cleanup. I always have to play cleanup. But all right. So you guys are so used to the live version because it's been played endless on classic rock radio, riding the storm out. Well, this is the original version with Michael Murphy, who was in a band called the One-Eyed Jacks and played for Roulette Records in the early 70s. Gives you a gist. Now let's see what you gave me.
I gave you some. This is the original demo or the original release of a song that Stephen Stills heard and turned into Southern Cross. And wait till you hear this version. You can hear the elements that he took and turned into Southern Cross. He got their permission to use their elements, and he turned it into Southern Cross, which I love. It's my favorite Cross, Stills, and Nash song. I didn't realize there was another version. I thought he wrote it plainly himself. No. You see Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks, a couple other people had a hand in this song. It's different, though.
I caught that plane with the snow on my heels, and I'm driving straight and
Yep.
Oh, you're going to hear a lot of elements. Oh, you hear the differences, too. 7 League Boots. There's Stevie Nicks and Lindsey.
If I have to go around the world,
Good Lord.
I never knew about this. This is like 1977, I think. A couple years before they put it out in this is 75, and they put it out in 77 and 78.
I'm keeping in touch with a good love on your mind. I can see our time's gonna come. There's no use wasting. These 7 League Boots are gonna move in. With your love, take me in. Wherever I got to go searching. If I have to go around the world just to find your world.
Wow.
I gotta say, Stephen Stills did a vast improvement because I love Southern Cross a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing what somebody can hear and turn into their own version.
So many nights I rode your train of pleasure. I still see you skipping your silver chain. Miles and miles of love we never could measure.
Completely different words, too.
Yeah.
With your love to be sure. Wherever I got to go searching. If I have to go around the world.
That's the only line he kept.
Yeah.
If I go around the world, will I find your world? I say I will.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, this is unbelievable. I never heard it either, VD.
That was pretty cool. I never knew about it. Thanks, Mello.
Yeah,
that CSN really did take it to the next level, and they did.
They really did. They did. I mean, that song's okay in its own thing, but it's nowhere near as good as Southern Cross.
Right. And I mean, the thing is, I loved, of course, the late 60s and the 70s stuff, right? But I'm Daylight Again might have been the last album I really listened to. And I bought that when I was 15 years old because of Southern Cross. That's why. And no doubt. The whole album was good, but I was like,
Southern Cross. I think Just a Song Before It Goes on that as well.
Mello, explain this, please, again. I know you were telling the story.
The original singer is the Curtis brothers. They were called. It's one of the Curtis brothers, and Stevie and Lindsey are doing the backgrounds and help produce the song. And
then, so Stephen Stills got permission to borrow elements of the song. So
when I looked up the story. It turned out he was in a studio, and one of the producers was showing like some of the equipment, and that song. He was like demonstrating, and Steven Stills heard it, and he goes, "Wait, I think I could do something with this song."
Wow. That's too funny considering, that's how Lindsay and Stevie got into Fleetwood Mac, was because he was at Sound City. Mick
Yeah,
Fleetwood was
that's
at
right.
Sound City and heard the Buckingham Nicks album on tape, and he's like, "Wait a minute, what are these two? Who were these two?" And he only wanted Lindsay.
I
He
think,
only was interested in Lindsay, but he's like, "Package deal," and I was just like, "Okay."
but I think that's a common thing because a lot of these guys that spend time in the studio, they all cross pollinate and hear what each other's projects are working on and that kind of stuff.
Anyways, Eric was asking, was that ever on an album?
I don't think so. Or if it was just a low run. It's been lost in obscurity. I mean, I've never heard it just until recently.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that out there, Gavin.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All
Yeah.
these things are kind of common, when you think of it.
That's why record collecting, even though, I don't want to say a unique hobby, but in a way it kind of is, because you never really are going to stop. Okay. You may not buy everything you hear or see, but you're going to keep discovering. And that's the fun of this hobby and the passion that is behind being in the vinyl community and collecting vinyl and other forms of media, physical media. But let's see here. Yeah, but what does Mello think of it?
I think it's a good song in itself, but it ain't as good as Southern Cross. No way.
An even more complete transformation of a song is that Cream played an old blues song, Lawdy Mama, yes, and morphed it into Strange Brew, which is totally different. And I really love Strange Brew. I think I heard Lawdy Mama a long time ago. I was going to be like a smart ass one of these days when YouTube was, being douchey. I was going to take early 20s blues songs that they couldn't nail me on because they're already public domain.
Oh yeah,
that would be funny. It's like, eat this, YouTube.
Anything public domain you could play without repercussion.
Yeah, 1924 is that's the last year right now.
Right.
So it's like, I was digging around and heard some Bessie Smith and and all kinds of other shit, fun stuff.
So the Fire Aid concert last night, I watched pretty much the whole thing. It's 6 hours.
Who was in it? Besides,
they got about 30 acts. Literally, it's like Live Aid. And they all do like 2 or 3 songs. Joni Mitchell made an appearance. She did like some slowed down versions of her songs. Stevie Nicks. Yeah, Green Day opened up the show with Billie Eilish. And they did 2 or 3 songs. Dr. Dre came out. It was a mix of No Doubt did a reunion and did like 3 or 4 songs. They were pretty good. Black Crowes came out and did a song with John, and then John Fogerty came out and joined them and did have you ever seen the rain?
Nice.
Let me think who else. And Stevie Nicks did 3 or 4 songs. She did. She opened up with "Stand Back," really a great version of "Stand Back." Except her voice, you could tell Stevie's like she sounds good for 76 years old. You can't take it away from her, but you can tell she's getting a little winded and getting hard to hit some of the notes. She's going down, like instead of singing her upper, she's like staying lower with a lot of her stuff. She also did Edge of 17, yeah, Edge of 17 and. Landslide. She did that, and then she talked about how her house got saved in the fire. Who else came out? Then you had the Red Hot Chili Peppers came out, which I thought Anthony Kiedis sounded terrible. He really just, I don't know what happened to that guy. Alanis Morissette, she was pretty good. She did One Hand in My Pocket and Thank You. Earth, Wind, and Fire was really good too. They came out and they did That's the Way of the World and Shining Star, September. They did a little medley, which is really cool. I'm telling you, the people that were in the audience, man, they were loving it. Literally, it was like one star after that, and everybody brought their A game. Like they were really trying to do their best and play, and I was really entertained by it. A couple of dips, from the newer artists like Olivia Rodrigo. I don't know her music, or Gracie Abrams. I don't know her music.
Right.
I didn't even realize that was J.J. Abrams' daughter.
Oh, huh. Okay.
I had no idea. Sting came out and did "Message in a Bottle." Really, really good version. Nirvana did a reunion, and they had 3 female singers do their songs. They had I forget, Kim Gordon came out and did I forget the song that she did with them, and Joan Jett came out and did "Territorial Pissings." I forget the girl that came out and did "Breed." I recommend everyone see it. It's only going to be on YouTube until 3:00 this morning, Eastern time. They're going to 24 hours. They hold for replay, and then it's going to be gone. So if you want to see any of the clips of it, I'm sure maybe the clips of it, but if you want to see it in its entirety, Billy Crystal came out and did a funny monologue, really, really funny. Who else was there? There's just so many people, a lot. Like I said, it reminded me of Live Aid. It's like they haven't had a big concert in a long time in the last few years, really. When you think about it, where they had a big concert with a lot of people on the same bill.
Wow. I was trying to look up some things.
Right.
But I'm not that lucky here. I also forgot to mention, ladies and gentlemen, it was not a afterthought, but this day, like I said, has been kind of strange. But this stream is being dedicated to my belated sister Sarah, who passed away 16 years ago today.
Good Lord, you just had one of these things a couple shows ago.
Yeah, Jessica died on the 28th. Yeah, so
man, that's too close together. Like,
yeah. Oh boy, was Milli Vanilli there?
Nah, they weren't there.
Another time I stopped by there, I got Ravi Shankar live in San Francisco, 1979. Well, that's a good deal for $8. Treetop Flyer, Stephen Stills, great song. Treetop Flyer.
Yeah, Stephen Stills and Graham Nash did perform. That was another one. They what did they do? He did "Love the One You're With." No, not "Love the One You're With." He did "Buffalo Springfield."
Oh, For What It's Worth.
Yeah, For What It's Worth.
Mm.
And Graham Nash, I'm trying to think what he came out and did. It's like they were separate. Like all of a sudden, Stephen Stills did something with another guy, with Mike Campbell from Tom Petty's group.
Mm-hmm.
They did the full one. And then Graham Nash came out, and they did something. I want to say "Helplessly Hoping," but I'm not positive.
Oh man.
One of those days.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I guess I'm not really exactly Mr. Get up and go today.
Lively. I'm going to karaoke later.
Oh, are you? See, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think I'm trying to think what I want to sing. What my voice can handle. I think I might do Finger 11, Paralyzer.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's a great song, and nobody does it. It's like one of those kinds of. And then if I can get up around a second time, I like to do 2 different opposites, like do a heavy and then a slower one, show my range. So I'm going to do Boss Skaggs, We're All Alone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think. I tried going to karaoke a couple times.
It's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that the last time.
Mikey, my brother's there. Sing Meatloaf.
Sing Meatloaf, yes. Took the words right
I do Meatloaf a lot.
Of my mouth. But I remember the last time that I went to karaoke, the audience was mixed. I remember though that there was a couple couple people that were drinking, right, kind of heavily, and they
Oh,
they did happen to be some tattoos. That's right. And yeah, and in such a
nice.
terribly short time, there was only two pretenders, and damn it,
Yeah,
like
didn't one
okay,
commit suicide?
no, neither of them did. But here's the thing, right? So the three, okay, so the story went that it was that Chrissy and Honeyman Scott and Martin Chambers, they had a mini meeting because Pete was doing heroin supposedly, allegedly, and so that's how he wouldn't stop. They were
Oh
willing to
wow.
help put him in rehab, and I guess he didn't want to do that, so they booted his ass out of the band. Now, what I didn't know, because he outlived Honeyman Scott because he died later in '82. Farndon lived until like I want to say spring, summer of '83. Okay. And he tried constructing a band with Topper Headon from The Clash. Yeah. And then he was found. I can't remember if it was Honeyman Scott or I think Pete Farndon was found dead in his bathtub. So
Oh
it's like
wow.
that's how you get two of them gone in less than a year.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I
Uh,
know, right? Those first couple albums, but it's like obviously, or at least this is how I feel. The minute that Honeyman Scott died, that like took some of the wind out of her sails. Okay, because it was like, uh-oh, I'm surprised. I really thought the band was going to break up. So when I was surprised to see that Back on the Chain Gang single with My City Is Gone, and I'm going, okay, it's not the same, but you proved that you can do it. And if I remember correctly, some of the people that backed on that single were in Rockpile and Big Country.
oh wow.
Yeah. So
I
there.
love
Don't
there's
be
so many
dreadful.
songs I love from them. I love Talk of the Town too.
Fred. Yeah, you know there's a tube there somewhere. There's always one. If not that, sniff the old school markers. Remember the
Yeah,
magic
right.
markers?
Oh
No,
yeah.
unless they're free. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Eric. Farndon was fired from the band after a meeting between the three, June 14th, 1982. 2 days later, 16 Honeyman died. Okay. Yeah.
Oh
See,
wow.
you see cocaine for one,
I was
heroin.
gonna say it had to be drug
Thanks,
use.
Eric. Yeah. But I mean that we got those couple good records. Yeah, and you know what? I do like that song. I'm not knocking it. Actually, I
I love
ended up
Back of the Chain
buying
Gang.
Learning to Crawl was a good album. Okay. It's just after that I started going, and the one song that I remember from I think it was the late '90s, mid '90s, and I've used it in mixtapes. Is I'll Stand By You. That song almost makes me tear up
Oh,
every
it does
damn
make me
time
tear
I
up.
hear it. And when they do the Christmas song 2,000 Miles,
Yeah, that too.
I think she wrote about Honeyman Scott because that's what it sounds like. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I mean, they weren't like together or nothing because she was with Ray Davies of the Kinks at that time. And then I
Yeah.
can't remember when that relationship ended. And then she ended up going with Jim Kerr from Simple Minds. How about that? I
Lucky
mean, she
him.
was just
Oh
like,
my god.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine being in a relationship with Chrissy Hine? Oh my god. That must be incredible.
Well, I don't know because to tell you the honest truth, I think she's been kind of a whiner the last few years. It's
Yeah,
like
maybe. But just thinking back in the 80s or something, when she was in her prime.
now I will say this that so here's an interesting story, and maybe I brought this up before, or maybe not. Violent Femmes, of course, out of Madison,
Do
Wisconsin,
do
right?
do 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 do.
Right. Well, I think it was maybe the last. It was either '81 or '82 tour, okay, and Chrissy, I think it was Chrissy and Honeyman Scott were like walking around in Madison, and they happened to be playing on the street corner, And they're like, wow, these guys are good. And they're like, we don't have an opener tonight. They ended up like something happened to the opening band or the opening regional band. And they're like, you're it. Get your equipment set up. You be at the backstage. Yeah. So the Pretenders helped the Violent Femmes in Madison to get a little more exposure. And I do like myself. I do like some Violent Femmes for sure.
Oh,
I
I
don't
like them definitely.
catalog, but I definitely like what was it? The tour that Jess and I saw. I really dug the album that they came back with and the song Issues. I'd play it, but I think I got dinged quite some time ago for that one too. So, but it's a good album. Go check out their newer stuff too, and they still keep putting things out. Looks like the kick. Okay, there, Sid.
Yeah.
Yes. I tried looking for that damn album when we went to go see the Femmes, but all I could find that day was Hallowed Ground. So I actually, Gordo did not come out. I guess he was not feeling very well. So I got that album signed by Brian, the bass player, who was very awesome. And unfortunately, they had a new drummer by the time on that tour that replaced the original drummer. Fact. Somebody, I bet you it's going around for that Violent Phlegm. That's right.
Yeah.
Remember, be careful, hydrate, fluids, Dayquil, NyQuil, in between quill, okay?
Yeah.
But not a pen quill. You don't want to stab yourself with that. Randall, Frito. And I had some of that too. See, it's going around again. And
yeah.
I just don't have the energy.
Getting over it.
I don't have the energy to get it again. So please, dear God, no, please, no.
Yeah, me neither.
Too much nonsense.
Once a year is good enough for me. I had mine this year already.
Yeah.
First week of January was like the start of it.
Much nonsense.
I was like, oh great, this is the way the year's gonna start. Great. Can't believe January's over already.
Saw Femmes live in high school. Great show. The crowd. See, and I love concerts like that. I love concert. Jess and I got literally, we were at the lip of the stage, dead center. You would have thought the way she loved that concert, she sang along with everything except the new album at the time, which just came out, but she was singing along with everything. And she was like, it was her element. It was like heaven on earth for her that day. And believe it or not, what was it? Like I said, she passed away in January of 19. A few weeks later, there was a concert announcement. Cain's Ballroom, because that's where we went to go see him. That's the first time I ever went to Cain's in Tulsa, because they weren't going to come anywhere around here. And but this time they were coming back for the first time in 3 years. And the opener was X. And I'm going, I don't know if Jess would have known of them, but I would have been like, honey, we're going to go see the Femmes again. And this time you got some listening homework on X. Here's Wild Party. Here's the gift. Here's I got blisters in my throat. Let me get well. Oh, doc, this ain't fun. Melody, I can just imagine Cheech and Chong in a KFC, and then they notice pot pie on them. That is, I love it.
That would be funny.
Chicken
that would have been something good back then if they would have put it in like nice stream.
Hey man, look, he's got his pot pies here. We need to buy like 100 of them.
Hey man, let's get a pot pie. I said Randy sounds like Tommy Chong. If he put the little slant in it and try to do the impression, I bet you he would nail Tommy Chong. That's his natural voice. Sounds like Tommy Chong. He just has to sound a little more hippie-ish and a little more, hey man, like, kind of stoned. That's all.
When he was on that 70s show, my God, I was cracking up all the damn time. Yes, that's true. Ray Manzarek did produce an album or two by X.
Wow, I didn't know that.
In fact, I want to say, did Ray help to find him? This joint
This
has
joint
a
is-
dog poop in it. Yes, yes.
You mean we're smoking dog shit, man?
Fill the refrigerator with those pies. I'm gonna go get some coffee.
One of the greatest scenes ever is in Cheech and Chong is in that car scene when he hands him the big joint. It's one of the greatest comedy scenes of all time.
I'm sorry. I was thinking the Ajax and the piss. Oh my god.
Oh, that
what
too.
happened?
I mean, the movie's
Yeah.
it's clear, but just the look in Cheech's eyes when he sees that joint. Oh my god, so incredible.
Big bamboo.
That's right. That was probably a little nod to it. I've got a picture of you. Oh, hijack my world at night. We've been cast out of. Oh, now we're back in the fight. Now we're back on the train, yeah. Oh, back on the chain gang. Circumstance beyond our control. Oh, news of the tea, the news of the world. Push your heart. Oh, send it like back on the chain, yeah. Oh, back on the chain gang. That was a beat that lived like they do. Brought me to my knees. Let's see what they've done to you. Will I die as I stand here today, knowing that deep in my heart they're going to ruin one day, but making us stop. I got a picture of you. Oh, those were the happiest days of my life. The battle was apart. Oh, the wretched life of a lonely heart. Back on the chain, yeah. Oh, back on the chain, gang. Song got stuck in my head. You know, we got.
Here's a good, valid question.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, brother.
You know what?
I just pulled it out of my head. I haven't been played that song in years. It's like I'm trying to remember the words, or it's not like I'm practiced in it or something. That was like off the cuff.
Yeah, Grant. If I didn't have to work, 5 days a week in the, I do 7A to 4P for my shifts, and if I didn't have that nonsense to deal with, yeah, I would attempt to take Rachel's slot. Believe you me, because she's not there, so anybody could go for it.
Right.
I would love to be on in the mornings. Of course, I'm not as I don't know.
I'm not that morning.
Some people would probably be very bored though, because I don't, like I said, I don't like the drama. I'm not going to talk about politics and religion or genealogy for that matter, or history of the Air Force or whatever. My mama talked to me, my mama talked to me, tried to tell me how to live. Da 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 da. But I don't listen to her because my head is like a sieve. Anyways, while I was getting the coffee, I think, yeah. Oh my God, I didn't think about this. Ew. You're right on that, Randy. Anyways, that I forgot for like an album or two and a tour, I think.
Right.
Somebody that was in that Pretenders lineup, completely unexpected. Johnny Marr from the Smiths. I'm going.
Oh, that's
what?
great. That's great.
How
You know,
the hell did
you got
he
to
land in?
remember. I'll tell you, Al, because she did that thing with UB40, that and she was over in England for a while, hanging with all the English artists at that time when she did that with UB40. So that just the cross pollination in the studio, hanging out with this person and that person, I could see. Or they probably have toured together. You know, people cross paths all the time.
It's just so weird though, because like, and I don't
That's
know
the
about
best,
how
Eric.
I don't know about how you people feel about. I mean, I know that there's a lot of fans in the UK that love the Smiths. I tried. It's not my cup of tea. That's all. It just isn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here, but I said this before, about Status Quo and how really I only was ever into pictures of Matchstick Men and rocking all
Oh,
over
they
the
got a
world,
couple
the
good.
cover of
Yeah, they got
Fogerty,
that song. Whatever you want, whatever you need, whatever you dun, 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 dun. I forgot the words, but it's a good song. I heard it in commercials even a couple times.
Let's
They had
see
some stuff.
here. Let's see. This just, and I don't know.
Rockin' All Over the World was the song that opened up Live Aid too.
That's right. That's right.
Yep, and it was
I
great. Great choice. Great choice.
I do see they're showing a thumbnail about the Nirvana reunion at Fire Aid. No, I'd love to play it, but that's not happening. But
I know it directly. It's a YouTube production with Netflix. I mean, literally.
yeah, so but I don't know why, but this just came into my noggin. I don't know if I'd get dinged for this or not, but we're gonna take a stab. Hang on a minute. If I could spell, that'd be nice.
Yeah, right.
So,
if it's there on YouTube for us to watch, any one of us could dial in and punch it in and turn it on. Why can't we all watch it together?
yeah.
That's what I don't understand. I mean, I know their answer. Oh, the views have to be dispersed to the right people. Why should you get 1,000 people on one channel? Blah blah. It's all greed. That's what it's about. Greed.
Let's see. Actually, I'm going to play this one instead. So, we love Creedence Clearwater.
I love Creedence.
We love all kinds of things, and I don't recall if I ever played this on here. Okay, but there
tonight. I love that song.
Now, as far as together, there's a quartet was in 71 for the Pendulum album. But
hey, what's up, Johnny L? What's up, Davey?
The thing is that so we flash forward to 1974, and there is a one song reunion. Most people didn't know about it. Okay. And Randy's chair is here. He's available. And so you've got Tom Fogerty and Stu Cook and Doug Clifford recorded in the studio together.
Without John?
John goes and not sorry. I'm not you, John, not my son. I'm talking on here. But John Fogerty goes and puts his guitar parts down separately So
Which is common now. That's common now.
So the 1974 album Zephyr National from Tom Fogerty. You may want to actually go listen to this if you've never heard it.
Oh,
So this
because
is
it's
the
really a
last
CCR
time.
reunion.
It is a CCR reunion in 1974.
Oh, wow. I
on
didn't realize that.
One song. It's called Mystic Isle Avalon.
And I'm sure the whole album, you hear that as the standout one because the chemistry. Why Tom Fogerty didn't make it as big as John Fogerty, though.
But boy, does it have that flavor, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Has the flavor. It's like
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the early Creedence. Really.
Oh yeah, definitely.
As it goes on, I don't have any interest in it, you know?
Right.
I agree with you.
Yes, and reviewing for Jukebox from Hell, the Mardi Gras album when I did. Oh boy!
I'll tell you what, John Fogerty was definitely showing his age last night. You know, all these guys. Yeah. I mean, you don't see them for a while, so all of a sudden, when you see them, it's kind of like you almost like, do you really want to be doing this still, bro? You know what I mean? You're 80 years old.
He's got to be 80, right? At least.
Yeah, he's like 80 years old. But hey, God bless. He did one song. It's all he did was "Have You Ever Seen the Rain?" And he did it with the Black Crowes, which was, you know, pretty good.
I seen that. You know who Mick Hucknall from Simply Red is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had there was something on YouTube I was watching. Man, he's looking bad. Holy cow.
All these guys, all of them, because again, we don't see them for so long. We just have the memory of what they were. You know, it's like when you see Simply Red, I see the video on MTV with the curl in the hair, and now they don't look like that no more. It's like, oh my God, like Marianne, not Marianne Faithful, Joni Mitchell. I mean, she was practically sitting in a wheelchair on the stage, you know, and it was like,
she looks
kind of
like
hard, but
a lot of surgery on her face. You know?
Yeah, oh, they all do. They get the Botox thinking that it's the new trend. So they all, even Olivia Newton-John, Suzanne Summers, like a lot of these women, you see them and it's like their face are stuck, and it's all that same cat lady look. You know, like Madonna's got it bad. So does Barbara Streisand.
God, yeah.
So does I mean Heather Locklear had it bad. I seen a picture of her.
Did you see Pam Anderson's like she's not wearing makeup?
Oh
anymore?
Yeah, I commend her. She actually looks great.
Terrible. She doesn't look terrible.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Natural.
She's all natural. You know, and that's what you want. You know, it's like, why would you want to put all that shit in your face?
Yeah.
Your face of all things. You know, it's like that's what you sold your whole career on was your face. You know, and guys do it too, because John Travolta and like other people you see that they have it. The dudes did it, you know. I want to say even like Denzel Washington, maybe a little bit, and Will Smith, a lot of them.
Somebody that needs to lose the makeup is Robert Smith. Man, man, you talking about looking bad? Holy God.
Yeah,
it's true, Sean.
He looks like your grandma, you know.
Oh God.
And he's a dude.
There's a contest. There's a contest.
I'll tell you what. You know who else was having a hard time last night was Steven Stills. When he was doing his For What It's Worth, like he was just winded. He was like, "What? Nothing happened here." You know, he's like not like it doesn't even almost sound like him. You know, it doesn't sound like him at all. Almost.
Yeah. We're gonna play something I've never played before because, well, you know what? Chris throws it out here in the comments, so I went and dug it up really quick. I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard anything from Artful Dodger, so I know the name, just never heard the stuff. So he says, "Cool tune, let's find out." Anyways, there you go.
So it wasn't bad. It's okay. As a first here, you know.
There's also an Artful Dodger that did garage and DJ stuff in the late '90s, early '00s in the UK.
Wow.
Did you get anything, any cool 45s recently, Randy?
You know, I did get this one, the only ones. This has been on my list for a long time.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that the only ones that ended up on MTV, or is that something completely different?
They're UK. Another Girl, Another Planet was their big hit.
Nice.
Or their only hit, I should say. But they're this is a tough one to find. But
Wow.
I finally found a pretty decent deal on it on eBay of all places.
Huh.
And I had to get it because
Wow.
those are always over $100, you know.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah.
See, I can't wait. Like I said, I got about 4 weeks till the record show. I hope I can find some really cool treasures. I mean, there's plenty of stuff. Trust me. There's this one guy. He takes up about 3 to 4 tables. Okay, and he's originally from England, and it's all UK 45s from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s.
Wow.
Seriously, and get this, most of them are reasonably priced. So it's like if you're looking for something, chances are he may have it at like $2 or $3 or $4. You know, it's like, hey, you know, you can't screw that up too much.
Yep. I remember when I found
Johnny L.
Hey guys.
Hey,
What's up, brother?
UK Ramones single. It was a guy was at the record show and he set up a table, but he wasn't a seller, or he wasn't a collector anymore. He's just getting rid of his stuff he had, and everybody was over there just dive bombing his table, you know. And I was like, I'll just wait, you know. And then I get over there, and I seen it, the UK. I mean, that thing's a couple $100, and I got it for $40. He sold it to me for, and I can't believe those guys left it there. It's just crazy.
See, I figure.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Paul, that Dodgers one, that was kind of upbeat. That was pretty good, actually. I kind of enjoyed that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I never heard of them before, though. I mean,
No, I mean, honestly, they sounded very retro even for 77. They sounded so early 70s, you know, like
ER.
that's weird how, you know, a band could do that until the saxophone comes in, because you didn't really hear a lot of sax in the early 70s. You know, it came in with Bruce Springsteen and Saturday Night Live, Baker Street. Those are the sax songs that brought it into more of the forefront for guys like Kenny G to even come out.
Well, anything with the sax in it is great with me.
Clarence Clemens. I mean, God.
Clarence Clemens was a man. He was
Ducks Deluxe is another. Pub rock band that was like that style.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, I put in a link there for another band that maybe not many people have heard of or know about, but they've been around for 20 years. And they've been on Lollapalooza. They were on MTV. They were
who is it?
Pretty good band. They're a band called Mates of State. That's what I mean. It's surprising. They were on a major label, too.
Yeah, I never heard of them.
You know, and it's amazing how a lot of the bands you'd never heard of before are really, once you listen to them, are freaking great.
Yeah,
like, holy crap, how come no one?
And this band is, believe it or not, they're kind of like the White Stripes. They're a 2-person group, and they're a husband and wife. And they're pretty. The husband is the drummer, and the wife plays keyboards and sing. They both sing. But they're very, sometimes almost experimental and a little bit of Sonic Youth kind of sound in there, a little bit of Art of Noise maybe, but very poppy too, very commercial, like.
Yeah, and to be picked up on a major label, you had to be
right. Yeah, and to be on Lollapalooza, they were on there for I think 2 or 3 years. They were on their their second stage, and they've done. There's a documentary about the group. They were on the Tiny Desk Music. They have some accomplishments and stuff. It's just every time I mention, nobody's ever heard of them. I'm like, wow, like how it's amazing how many bands are probably I don't know that are actually out there like that at that level, signed records, catalog, history, and you never heard one thing of them. Now, I bet you not one person in the chat knows who they are. I bet you will when he plays
that's
it.
like the the 60s when all that psychedelic stuff in the garage was happening. You know, those
right.
And the garage turned into the psychedelic, and then they started getting, or they were supposed to be signed by major labels, and it never happened. They were shelved forever. And
well, that's what the Nuggets thing Rhino put out, like psychedelics. Of the garage bands, and then the part 2 is the ones around the world. Like the Moves on it, and a couple other groups. People that went on to get into more famous bands.
It's who you know too. That helps.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's bigger than anything.
It kind of goes back to even the 50s and the early 50s, where the great groups, a lot of great groups back then weren't even they weren't even looked at, right?
Yeah.
And because of payolas going on and all this shit, right? But
Right.
Once I got into this doo-wop stuff and everything, I found some records and some groups that I thought to myself, holy shit, how come they weren't picked up on a label?
And that's even better for like
Oh, you saw Mates of Stay Loser list. Wow.
They weren't discovered because that's cool stuff you find.
That's awesome.
The road, you know?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, a lot of obscure ones that you listen to and you go, holy crap, I don't know why they didn't get picked up by. But then I found out through time.
That's awesome.
Well, it's a lot of payola going on, with Alan Freed and all that, right?
Yeah.
So if you had the money, and plus a lot of racism too. So if you had the money, that helped, but a lot more. So if some black groups made it, if they were lucky, well then they've had the money to kind of like here.
That's like like during the 2000s, you always heard the music today sucks. There's nothing good out, but there was all kinds of.
Something.
But it's just not stuff that ever got radio play. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's always out there. There's always
Randy. That's what I call the proverbial needle in the haystack. That is the diamond in the rough. That's what us rabid collectors look for.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, and if somebody goes, "Who the hell's that?" I'm glad you asked. Right. Listen to this, and then be like, another fan. Right. Yeah. I tell
the story all the time, but there was a band here in Ann Arbor. It was Frank Allison and the Odd Sox. They were huge here, and all over Michigan. But once they stepped out of Michigan, they didn't.
Nobody knew.
Nobody went to see them. It was crazy. And then they won like this Battle of the Bands where they went to Russia, and what happened is the guy. It was one of those mental things, His brain told his voice not to sing, and he couldn't sing anymore, and it was devastating because everybody thought, they were going to go on the next level after this. But man, I tell you, when we used to go see him at anywhere, Blind Pig, they were just sold out, just huge, and the whole crowd got into the dancings of the songs. They knew all the lyrics. I mean, unbelievable band, and nobody knows who these guys are.
That's a shame. That's a real shame.
It is. And now
you're lucky, Luther list.
Now the guy is his family owned one of those B movie theaters, just like in a small town, and he runs that now. But yeah, that's 7-inch.
Oh wow!
They had
artwork on there.
What was this one? Rodent of Love.
Nice.
Odd Socks.
See here.
They put out some cassettes too.
How odd were they? No.
Loser list, you're lucky. I wish the Mates of Stay would come around here. I've never gotten to see them.
So Randy, is that an independent label that they have on there? Those records?
Yeah, it was a small. It was his, but they're out of Chelsea, which is a small town just outside of Ann Arbor, and then they moved to Ann Arbor, But back in Ann Arbor had a huge music scene, 60s, 70s, 80s. But
yeah, I remember.
Hey, Cap.
What's up, Cap?
Bittersweet Alley.
Now who's this rapping on my door? It looks like our old buddy Ernest. His long love was forevermore. Yet I remember some smartest telling me his love was forevermore. Now I think that I remember saying, Now one of us must feel kind of stupid. Now one of us must feel a little slow. Now I remember some smarters telling me it love her forevermore. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I remember some smarters telling me it love forevermore.
Cool.
There,
Yes.
Smart Ernest.
Good song.
So the lead just before like he had that mental thing, the lead guitarist ended up, getting married, moving out to San Francisco, and then RIT Drums here in Ann Arbor. I went there. I took guitar lessons back in the, I'd say early '90s. It was, and the new guitarist is he was my teacher, so that was kind of.
Oh wow,
Cool.
that's cool.
Here's that album Sean was saying, Bittersweet Alley.
Oh wow.
Oh,
That was on Track Records.
oh, hang on.
So
Track Records.
That was a British label, track kind of.
Wow, they got a lot of releases and stuff.
yeah, they were pretty big on the radio here. I mean, for a local.
Yeah. Right.
That's one cool thing about. I think it was WRF. Even a lot of the local radio stations at night. When
Yeah.
people weren't listening to it, they would.
That's the way
play
it
a
was
lot
for
of
us.
local stuff.
We would, believe it or not, like I heard the Hooters before the Hooters went national because they were on Philadelphia radio all the time.
Yep.
I absolutely love this song.
But there's like a ton of bands like this out there that you just never hear of, in every state or every country,
It's funny, Johnny, to hear you say like you love this one.
I love that.
I associate, but I associate you so much with doo-wop to hear you say like harder stuff,
Yeah, but Mellow, I like the classic rock. Don't get me wrong. I got.
Yeah, no, I know.
I got like Alice Cooper's couple of 3 albums. Alice Cooper. I liked all the classic rock, like AC/DC or the.
What's the heaviest record you have in your collection?
Mine.
Or even on CD, like what's the
Led
only?
Zeppelin. I have about 3 or 4.
Yeah, but that's kind of classic rock. I mean, if you were going to go towards metal,
I'm not.
I mean, obviously Black Sabbath is like in that realm, but like everybody, I don't even count Black Sabbath in the sense of like, when you start going like towards Metallica and stuff,
Yeah, I don't have any kind of Metallica or anything like that. Although I did hear a couple of Metallica songs that I liked, but
they became commercial,
Yeah, I'm not really into the that kind of heavy.
Johnny, are you a merciful
man?
So we've been playing local stuff or somebody that so this band 19 I do see what you dropped, Mellow, and we'll get to that in a little bit here.
Okay.
But 1979 out of Oak Park, Illinois, power pop band. They only made 2 albums, and yes, they did land on Atlantic around the Chicagoland area. It was a hit, kind of not so much around the rest of the nation though. rest in peace, Cliff Johnson, who passed away last year, lead singer of Off Broadway,
I've heard of them.
and the song called Stay in Time.
I've never come across that album yet. Anyway,
I've got both.
That's when you know it's a good song.
79 was such a great year too.
One of my favorite years of music.
Yep.
And 1980 too. I love 1980.
Did half of the Badfinger album Airwaves too that year. So he was a busy man.
Wow. Oh yeah.
Hey,
late 70s.
Speaking of Badfinger, speaking of Badfinger, that new album that they have, the Lion one. Have you guys heard it? How do you like it?
I haven't.
Oh, that's Johnny L. You don't know. This is a sore spot with me.
It's a jukebox from hell.
No, I love that album.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I went off. It turns out that Badfinger, the official site in the UK's got it. Okay, 28 pounds equals $34.50 American. Okay, and I was getting ready to pull the trigger. Well, then guess what? The shipping is $18.50. I said, forget that shit.
You know what you do? You find like a couple more guys that want that album, and just buy 3 of them, and then you divide the shipping up by 3. You know, that's the way to do it.
Because I have a Badfinger album. It's something about something. The label says Christian something.
Magic Christian. There's a Magic.
Oh, Magic Christian.
I have that one.
Music. Yeah.
And I have a 45 of Day After Day or something.
If you want it, here it is. Come and get it.
But I really wanted to get the one with all their hits with Day After Day and all the other ones.
Oh yeah,
like
Straight Up. Straight Up, wasn't there?
Was it?
Yes. Straight Up's a great album. One side produced by George Harrison, the other side Todd Rundgren.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I don't know on vinyl wise, like if there's a greatest hits. Now I know on CD there is. Apple did one, and so did Capitol. So you might want to seek at least the CD angles out, and then you'll get the good stuff. One of the better albums it's like in my top 3. Straight Up's in there. Wish You Were Here, 1974. That was the album that, well, kind of caused the downfall. It's a big, long mess of a story. Mello, let's see what you got for your thing, and then I actually have another one.
Okay.
That is a well, sort of kind of a local treasure. She's been gone now 30 years, but let's see what you got here first.
This video was on MTV. It was actually a contest that the band put out for fans to make a video to become their official video, and this is the video that won.
See,
pretty deep video.
I never heard this band. So
2005 they came out. They've been out since 2005.
Wow. All right. Well, here we go. Mates of State. Goods all in your head.
Mates of State.
I love that song.
It's not too bad.
Where are they from?
Maybe Canada, maybe.
Yeah.
I checked Bathory just a couple of seconds ago. Are you trying to kill me or something?
Bathory? That's a heavy band. Bathory.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's like I checked their web thing and all that. It's like, holy crap.
Bathory. I know Bathory. I've heard them before.
Jesus.
They're like Scandinavian metal.
Sure, man.
Super heavy, super heavy.
All right, so this one here, she did not originally start in the Chicago area. She originally was from the state of Ohio, and she moved to Chicagoland and was in a band called Ruby Jones. Made one album for Curtum, but then she goes back with another band and starts doing the bars and shit.
Soul?
And a gentleman by the name of Jim Dandy. Soul for the Ruby Jones, yes. And I'm looking for that album. I was this close to getting that damn thing, and somebody.
There's a song called Jim Dandy, isn't there?
By Black Oak, Arkansas, because it's Jim Dandy.
But wasn't there like I don't want to say like Brian Setzer Orchestra or Cherry Poppin' Daddies or One of those groups that have a song called Jim Dandy.
That's Laverne Baker.
Laverne Baker,
Did the
yeah.
original Jim Dandy, okay? And
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of.
Black Oak does that cover of Jim Dandy.
Oh, all right. Well, then that's what.
She changes her name. Like, originally it's like Connie, some very long name. She changes her name to Ruby Jones, changes her name to Ruby Starr, who, of course, she ends up with Black Oak for several years before she jumped and had her band called Grey Ghost. And then Grey Ghost on Capitol Records, some great stuff, some whiskey-throated stuff, if you like that, you know, those type of lady vocals. But what was really funny is she disappeared almost off the face of the earth for a few years until she ended up in, well, southern Wisconsin, near the Milwaukee area for some reason in the 80s. And she ended up cutting a couple albums. One of them I showed a long, long time ago called Telephone Sex. Very interesting album. It was very good. Well, this one here, as soon as you hear this, should have been stuck in an 80s soundtrack because I could have seen this. And I think it did make it to a 45, sank like a stone. So this one here is called Secrets from the Heart. Secrets.
Oh, yeah, I like that, Davey. I didn't realize you put the star behind you.
Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
I can't fit it for my banner on YouTube, but I can put it for this anyway.
That's killer.
Yeah, I like that too. Nope, this is a new band on me too. Ruby Starr anyway.
I once had a lover that I thought was untrue. I didn't know what to do.
Oh my God, you know what that sounds like? Take me now, baby, here as I am. Sounds just like Because the Night.
I would have loved to have met her.
That's sort of.
That sounds definitely 80s.
Living illusions, blinded by fear, fearing only misery.
Powerful voice.
I keep holding on, reaching for the breath, holding on to dreams.
Oh, did you say this song is from the 80s?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Like
could be
Can't you tell?
this could be on Vision Quest.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
I would have fit 84, 85. That's where this was from.
Or Streets of Fire. This would fit right on the Streets of Fire soundtrack.
Yeah, kind
And
of.
this was buried on a small Milwaukee label. I don't know.
A singer from the 80s, and I'm trying to think of the name. I don't know if it's Pat Benatar.
Yeah, a little Pat Band, a little Corner Flash.
Yeah.
That's what she sounds like, the singer Quarter Flash.
Rindy Ross.
Yeah, Harden My Heart.
I agree with you, Ernesto. I would love to find the rest. We went under Ruby Starr, Grey Starr. There's a bunch of stuff I still can't seem to find yet. And some of it was just like this. Oh, there you go. I didn't think about that.
Actually, I don't think she sounds like Laura Brown again, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion. That song should have made the Billboard Hot 100. That song should have started.
I kind of hear a bit of Laura Brown. Much more Pat Benatar.
Yeah.
Also a little bit of Patti Smythe. Scandal.
Bonnie Tyler, yeah.
No, Scandal. Patty Smythe.
But I'm just.
Anyways, there you go.
Ernesto.
Ruby Star from 1984.
84, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're all learning stuff today, guys, from everybody on panel
This
and
is
the
amazing,
audience.
yeah.
Let's see. We went
Yeah.
Artful Dodger to the couple that Randy and Sean brought up, to Frank and damn it, my mind's already gone. To the Off Broadway from '79 and Ruby. See, it's fun.
And then
This is why we
Mates of
have the
State.
shows and Mates of State. See, I'll be doing a lot of cleanup later, but it'll be worth it. This is why you people need to be
Maybe not on all of them.
This is why you people need to be here live, or at least watch the replay within 2 to 3 hours, because then after that, things disappear.
Whoa. Right.
But yeah, I guess she does kind of sound like Bonnie Tyler. I could see that.
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah.
Suzanne Vega. My name is Luca. I live on the second floor.
That was a popular.
I used to say my name is Puka. I live in the stomach floor.
Well,
I live downstairs from you. I know you have felt me before.
Yipes.
If you feel something late at night, some kind of burble, some kind of fright, don't ask me what it was.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh my.
Puka. My name is Puka.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got something to show too. We were talking about Loserless is saying he has a Behind the Green Door on VHS. Here's some vintage VHS. Did you ever hear of this one?
Insatiable. No, but now
Marilyn,
I want to watch it.
Marilyn Chambers.
Oh,
this is like 1980. Then we got Amanda by Night. These are vintage VHSs. I can't show the back. These are video store specials. And then my favorite, I like to watch.
Yeah.
Early 70s, Mellow. Right?
They're all about late 70s, early 80s maybe.
It's in,
but that's an original VHS.
Oh my God! Look at that! Look at that clamshell box. I said clamshell.
Ain't that cool? So I'll be putting these on eBay. So if somebody likes these, get a look out for a 16mm Kingdom.
Hey Randy, you missed.
Probably put them up $20 each.
I'm here. I'm trying to find something, but
so Mellow. That's why we don't see you too much, eh?
Yeah, no,
right. See, Ernesto approves.
No, Debbie does.
And so does Loserless.
That's why I'm singing. That's why when I go out to karaoke later, I'm singing "We're All Alone."
Hey, Paul. Is this
I really am singing that, Boss Skag. We're all alone.
Hey, Paul.
Close the window, tie the light, and it will be all right.
Could you bet, Dylan? We're alone. Anyways, yes. What is it, Dave?
I got a lot of VHS, Lisa.
How good or shitty does this webcam look to you?
How good or shitty does this?
It looks pretty normal.
Okay.
It looks.
It looks pretty normal.
It's a different one.
Yeah.
It's a different one.
I don't notice any change like that makes it stand out.
Is that a new game show? How good or shitty is this webcam?
Yeah, right.
We'll be on right after Name That Stain on Fox.
Yeah.
Is that Randy? Is that all 45 that you have behind there?
Oh, his collection is.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's all 45.
I got too much in my.
Way too many 45s.
That would be Tracy Lord's, Chris.
45s too.
Yeah.
No, I ain't doing Dead or Alive, Lisa. No way. I'm sick of that song. I grew up with fucking Bon Blow Me. You kidding me?
Question.
That's what we call them.
That actually works.
I don't have a VHS player anymore.
He's got to take a Sharpie. You know how you do with the cassettes with the pencil, and he has to open it up and then turn frame by frame so he can see.
Yeah. The heck's her name? I know you're talking about, Chris. She was an actress
Tracy
too.
Lord. I just answered.
Tracy Lord, yeah, Tracy Lord. That's it.
She was only ever in one legit.
Yeah, but she was 15 or whatever. That's what
I'm trying to tell you. All of them were banned except for the one that she just turned legal. That's the only one. The rest of them, yeah, they'll get you. They'll get you. I heard of it too, and they did. They got some people. We actually had, come to think of it, I remember we had a mom and pop store, and they got, not did they get them for that. Okay, what they did to them.
That was a national tape, though. It was like in every video store back then until they found out later.
They confiscated it, okay, but here's another thing.
Yeah, right? It took a couple of years till they found out.
I used to sort of know these people, the mom and pop operation, and you know, I would go in there for regular stuff too, but I remember one day I walked in there and they're like, "Oh hey," he goes, "You remember the one incident with Tracy?" "Yes." "We just got a letter." "Another one about Tracy?" "No." "Read it." I don't know why they always would privy me with this information. So I read the letter, and it had to do, it was Sylvester Stallone's lawyer, and they were going after all the copies of Italian Stallion, and they had a copy. Somehow that, I don't know what database they know that video stores own things, and they're like, "We need you to send this back." And I'm like, now if I'm the business owner, I'm like, sure, if you'll go off and pay the money I paid for it.
Yeah, right.
But they're not going to do that.
I'll tell you what. I went to a convention in Atlantic City. It was the Adult Video News Convention, and literally, like, you walk in.
Awards.
Oh my God! It was like every superstar. I met Ron Jeremy. I met Jenna Jameson. I met Jewel Denial. I met Barbara Dare. I met Nina Hartley. I got pictures with them all too. I got to dig them out. When I do, I got a really funny one with Jenna
Tracy
Jameson.
Lords.
Tracy Lords wasn't there.
Do you have one of Misty Monday? Jeff Allen would like.
All the big stars were there though. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
Ginger Lynn.
Ginger Lynn was there. Yep.
Mello won a date with Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, right. Ron Jeremy's funny though, man. He's really a funny guy. Was a funny guy.
What's wrong? Oh, this one.
But who would think? And honestly, like, they had like exhibitions and stuff there too, which was kind of blowing my mind because we're in this big Atlantic City convention center, and there's fully nude girls like wrestling around, and I'm like, is this really happening? Like, what are we? Where? What? Is the honest thing? It's like Comic-Con. Wow.
Yeah, that would have been fun. I can't remember which one. Is it Christy that's got a podcast? Somebody's got a podcast.
Yeah, Johnny Sins was there.
She's got more.
He was there, Ernesto. I mean, what are you gonna say? There's a couple of those actors. Harry Reams, he went on.
God, I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah, he went on to do legitimate acting. And Marilyn Chambers went into that movie Rabid. Did you ever see Rabid?
Yes, in Rabid.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that's Marilyn Chambers, and that's the same one that's in Insatiable. That's Marilyn Chambers. Like, she only made a few movies. She might even be the one that's in Who's Behind the Green Door. Marilyn Chambers. I think about it.
Yeah, because I think that was her in Behind the Green Door.
One of her first movies.
Right. Well, I told you I almost had a chance, and I kicked myself for this. But it wasn't a first pressing movie poster. It was a second press, but signed by her legitimately through her website when she was
really
$75 at the time. I should have got it. I was like, but
she was a beautiful girl. There's no denying it. I mean,
here's another thing.
Beauty.
Okay, now I remember seeing a handful of films with John Holmes. I never liked him in the first place. Then I saw the movie Wonderland, and I did not know anything about the Wonderland murders until I saw that movie.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, you little scuzz bucket. I said, it just even made him even more scuzzier than he was before.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've never seen Wonderland by Val Kilmer.
Well, let me tell you
something.
I saw a great movie. Seriously, a great
movie
a long
about
the whole thing. But
I barely remember it.
Who almost was a victim, but he was dope sick, and he ended up passed out for I think it was 12, 14 hours on the couch. Chuck Negron. He almost was a victim.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, here's the clincher. So him and his girlfriend, wife, whatever the hell. I think his wife at the time was wait a minute, Toby, why the hell are you up there? Toby.
Getting a hairball.
Toby. Yeah, I got you on camera, Toby. Anyway.
She's a spider.
I don't give a shit what the hell it is. So the thing is that Chuck, and like I said, he married and had a couple interesting girlfriends, but one of them it was either the former girlfriend of John Densmore from The Doors or former girlfriend of Barry Oakley. He was with one of those two at the time. So, and they were dope sick too, both of them. And so they went to the next day, and they're like, "Wait a minute, why is the back door, the gate opened?" Because he knew enough that he liked to keep things shut and tight. Right. And he's like, "I don't like this." He goes, "But we got to figure this out." He goes, "Be careful, don't touch a lot of stuff." That's what he said. So he went through the door, and that's when he found the carnage. He's like, "Holy crap!" And he left the scene and called the cops. And they asked who it was, and he goes, an interested party or something. And that's all he said. He didn't say his name or nothing, and then hung up the phone really quick. And the cops that went to Wonderland Avenue and found the bodies. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
Wow.
It was almost a porn movie. Robert Reed. Wait a minute. How do we bring up Robert Reed here? I don't know. Right.
What a shady industry that was.
Yeah. Psyko wasn't there. No, she wasn't there. I wish. I would have liked to come in. I sold an inside Psyko. I had one of the VHSs already.
That's right. It did not glamorize the porn industry in that movie. That was a great seedy, underneath movie, and I was just like, Val should have won an award. I'm like, the whole.
It's funny. You notice most of a lot of the women that have gone through the industry, when they're done, some of them like turn Christian. They like really feel bad about what they put their life through, in that lifestyle.
A lot of them committed suicide. A lot of them
took
drugs.
I feel bad for them.
A lot of them had problems, before they even.
Sure, that's what made them even do that stuff.
One of these days, but not today. After the show is over, okay, I will dig up a video that's actually on YouTube, and it has to do with it's from the early to mid 70s, and it's Marilyn Chambers. It's a call-in show for a what do you want to call I don't think cable. It was what the hell? Community access.
Yeah.
And this guy had very interesting topics. The guy was on for a bunch of years. In fact, he would end up having later on, because it was out of New York, and he ended up with Sid Vicious and Nancy were there too. Okay, and like a couple of years later, and I'm like, what the hell? Wow. And this was underground stuff, okay? But here's the thing, right? So the show is barely on for 2 minutes. Completely disrobes. And that's how you see her for the whole rest of the show. And it's a call-in show. It's a call-in show back then. But I gotta find that, and one of these days I will put it in backstage when we can see it, because I can't show that here. Although YouTube could, but you had to say something or whatever.
Hey, Dave Paul. Wait, I'm gonna pull this up. Did you know? I didn't even know this until I found the trailer in my collection. I didn't even know that this even existed. I'm going to send you this link. Hold on.
Yankee Jack rides again. That's never going away, ladies and gentlemen.
You love that joke.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I really do.
Here we go. This I could not believe even existed, and because we're talking about vintage porn and stuff, this was literally probably the most famous one of all time, and just look in the chat.
I'm sorry. I don't know if it was Colin's Sleazy Friends. I can't remember the name of the thing. I'm sorry. I'd have to go dig it
Now,
up.
the thing
That
that's
is true.
interesting. The thing that's interesting about this is that
Now, what is this?
this is the original, like
Trailer.
it's Deep Throat. All right, Deep Throat's the most famous porn film of all time. Who knew there was a sequel that was rated R? And I got the trailer. Yeah, it's rated R. You can play the trailer. Play the trailer.
All right, hang on a minute.
I never knew there was a Deep Throat 2.
I didn't either.
I found the trailer in my collection. That's how I discovered it.
1974, people.
Look at this, Deep Throat 2 with Linda Lovelace, but it's rated R. They took all the X out. It made it like a.
Ooh.
It was a flop, obviously.
Well, gee, I wonder why.
Linda Lovelace is back.
Is back.
Don't move or I cut your throat. Deep. Now, tell me your secret or I kill you.
What secret?
The secret of how each day you can reduce men to quivering hopes at your feet.
Oh, that. My secret butterfly stroke.
See that? I love the music.
Yeah.
Yes, Linda Lovelace is back. In the all-new hilarious follow-up to the biggest word-of-mouth movie ever.
Word of mouth.
Part 2. It's everything you ever hoped for. You can see all of Linda Lovelace.
Everything you hope for, but the real action.
Kind of puts a lump in your throat, doesn't it?
We're just
Hey,
going
wait
to
a minute.
insinuate.
Martin Short in this film.
I don't know if I can keep this up anymore.
That's what she's. Never mind. Mhm.
That's what she said.
Bravo.
Linda
Here
Lovelace.
she's got athlete's foot.
Deep Throat Part 2. It's all new.
It's all new. Goldfinger.
Mold finger.
It's got its own theme and everything, like
Mold
James
finger.
Bond.
I agree with Vinyl Dreamscape. Yeah, you're right about that. I know Prude either, but too many girls were abused. And stuff.
It's just funny how many people knew about that. You know,
Linda Lovelace, apparently, she said she had an interview one time. I can't remember how long ago. Yeah, she really said that she was really
that's funny, loser Liz.
And she was terrible and all that stuff. And
Deep Throat, the second coming. That's what it should have been.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
There's one for you. Come to think of it, so Mrs. Big Fire. Did they ever make soundtrack albums for adult movies?
Yeah, there are some that I remember there was a compilation, I think, about the adult film industry, best of, and it will be some of the, because there were certain composers that were just for that industry, really.
It's mixed in with the Rudy Ray Moore records, isn't it?
Right.
See, you didn't expect Rudy Ray Moore to be brought in this conversation.
Speaking of records, Randy took out some 45s.
He did.
I think that he wants to show. I think
I would like him to, if that's what he's got.
No, I was looking.
No,
a band, but maybe another time. But
okay, well that's fair. I'm about ready to kind of wrap this up anyway, ladies.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go karaoke.
Yeah,
sure you are, Mello. You're going to watch those movies.
I can't read this.
I've done seen them. That's old news already.
Wait a minute. What do you got there?
I got terrible webcam.
Yeah, you
got a Star Wars shirt on.
I can't see what the hell you even got.
Let the force be with you.
It focuses and unfocuses the stupid webcam.
It's the porn Bible.
Yeah.
Not to be confused. Not to be confused with the great.
It says in this book there's a Devil and Miss Jones soundtrack.
Oh, that's why you brought the book. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't
there
even
you
know
go.
that. Okay.
I really don't do soundtracks, but I just bought the book a lot of years ago.
Hey, I love books like that.
Sure, that works. Loser, that works. Sure. I could, yes. And of course, let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that's how Frank Zappa got arrested in 1962, World's Greatest Sinner. Yeah, he got busted for doing the incidental music. Yeah, he did. He did it down. That was one of his first things.
Paul, the theme of the show kind of went up and down a little bit, didn't it?
Well, that's usually how it goes in the business, buddy.
Yeah.
I see where you went on that, and that's fine. This is true. Ernesto's right. Eddie Van Halen.
Good one, Johnny.
2 tracks. One of them was called Catherine, and I can't remember the other one. And I've heard them, and I'm like, But what? So yeah, that's a cool book, Dave. Yeah, what we could see of it. That's right. Yeah, I have a bunch of. I used to have a lot of record price guides too, but the thing is they were taking up space, and I really wasn't. I think I only kept I've got one. It's the picture sleeve price guide, and they got a lot of cool pictures.
Oh, I got a lot of record books.
That's like the only one I think I kept. Yeah, so
a lot of them are outdated, probably from the early 2000s and stuff, but they're still handy for information.
This is true, but I mean, and yes, Goldmine still makes the price guides, which I'm glad they do.
Yeah,
but
now it's eBay is the stock market, and Discogs, the auctions online are the stock market of what things are worth.
I like the reference books better that they don't give you the price, but about the year and all.
Right.
Yeah.
I found, I didn't even know they had them, but so when I was collecting all the psychedelic music and I got all those. I found what was it, Surf and Hot Rod and Surf albums.
Yeah,
it goes pretty deep in those.
Nice.
You're telling me,
I got some Hot Rod albums.
You're talking what about mainly a 3 or 4 year window on that stuff.
Yep.
I even found one. I showed it a long time ago. It was on Capitol Records. I think it was 62, 63. Now I'm sitting here and I'm going, okay, I can understand why you'd want a Hot Rod album. Okay, so you want to hear the engines and you can figure it out. This was a album of speedboats.
Oh, really?
That's all you want.
Speedboat.
And what? And I got it because it was free. It was, and I'm like, But the Hot Rod stuff, some of that stuff, very collectible, and the surf stuff. I ended up selling these though, but last year I got these for nothing. Also, Dick Dale, I got his one on Tone from '62, and then I had a Capitol.
Oh, cool. That'd be Delta or whatever that record label that was.
I got the Hornets put out some of those. It was basically all surf, or remember the '60s movies where they had the motorcycles, but they play that music along with it.
Late '60s they did a lot of motorcycles.
Yeah, but anyway, the Hornets put out one with a motorboat on the cover of it. I got the mono and the stereo of that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rail sounds.
Yeah, that's another thing I've come across. Even choo-choo sounds. It's like okay.
Right.
One.
I remember seeing one album, the last track on it is "Your Mama's a Train."
Oh, hold on a second.
Wheels and Speeds.
What's that say there?
I've seen that album actually.
That might be a Jerry Cole record.
Oh, really? Burt Wheels. Oh, Shut Down.
I've seen Shut Down.
That's a compilation there.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's Jerry Cole. I almost forgot about that name. Hot Rod Alley.
Crown record.
Crown had some strange stuff.
Crown was a budget label, kind of.
Yep.
Cool.
Little Honda Jeep by the Scramblers. Wait a minute. Somebody autographed that thing?
I guess. Yeah, there you go.
The Scramblers might be.
Wait a minute. It says, "I love you." And what? Will love you.
Maybe it was a present from somebody to another.
Only to the one I love, and the especially the blah blah blah. I fucking can't read this anymore. I love you.
I can't.
You know what? I'd like to go back in time and go, hey, it's called paper and a pen, jackass.
Yeah, I got that. Suprise, yeah.
Yes.
Diplomat Records. That's
another Diplomat.
Budget label.
Vintage sports cars in
stereo. Riverside Records. Riverside. That's cool.
Yeah, is it Riverside like a folk blues label?
Jazz label too, Riverside.
Wow. There you go. Daytona Speedway. You are there. Sounds of Auto Racing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Some good stuff here. Indy 500.
That's a cool cover.
There you go. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, though, guys, that you could. This is why record collecting it can be fun, and you find that elusive stuff.
I want to sell all these. Not one of these mean a dick to me. You know what I mean? It's like I just want
for that matter,
or a bag of dicks.
Yeah, I was just I was going to say that.
I like to get. Maybe I should just lock them together instead of trying to sell them all at once. I mean, all one at a time.
Yes.
I bet you a whole collection. I probably get like $500 or something.
Hey, you know who you get a hold of is in the vinyl communities, Eric Weinbender. He'll buy that whole stack off you.
There's a name I have not heard in a while.
I don't know who he is. Maybe you can be the middleman, Randy.
Yeah, if I see him, I'll let him know.
All right. Because that's trains, motorcycles, that's everything, like all in one. And how long would it take to get a collection like that?
Oh, a long time.
That was my friend that passed away made that collection. That was the stuff he was into.
I have a different sports car in stereo.
And he was 83 years old, so he was collecting since he was 10 years old, 15 himself.
Hey, Mello, are you making a dent in those records, selling them?
Not really. I mean, still got thousands.
This is where
hundreds of 45s too.
I wish I was close to you right now. I'd be driving over there.
I would love that. I would love a helping hand in that way, man. Somebody that really knows records. I would love them to help me out a little bit.
That's my son's favorite Linkin Park album. He tells me.
I'm not a fan. They're all right,
I like that rock rap stuff. I'm a fan.
It's okay. I like some Limp Bizkit. Yeah.
This is where I wish I lived in the States because I'd be getting metal records on metal. But I found it in Canadian. I find it too expensive now to have records.
That's cool, isn't it?
I just got some records from PB Fallon. It's like, holy crap.
Oh, okay. What you get?
I got the Beatles. There's a Beatles album that he had, and he wasn't sure. Like he said it that he wasn't sure whether it was worth $3 or expensive. It had the Beatles on top of the spindle, right? And usually, they say if the Beatles
introducing the Beatles on VJ.
I can't remember what's.
Hey, let me ask you something though. Is that anywhere near you? Right, you could get that album. I want to see the cover.
Oh, I didn't get them yet.
Oh, okay. Because I'm curious about what the back cover is going to look like. That could be interesting too.
That's what it looks like, Eric. He missed the railroad records.
When Mello runs a train, that's what it looks like.
There's that one, and there's that one.
Do you have any Hypnosis records?
I do. Let me see. I do have one. I know I have a lot of novelty records.
Oh.
And
look at this stack. We got so many records over here, but this stack is like novelty. So I'm gonna walk over here, and then I'll show you some of the novelty stuff. And again, I want to sell this all. It takes time to process it. Like this is the Singing Nun.
The Singing
Atlas
Nun.
Mass.
What about an exorcism record? I want
these are choir records.
Exorcism record.
This is Sex Is My Business.
Oh my!
Hold on, the Singing Nun one. The Singing one. Which one? Oh, Dominica one.
I have come across that.
But this is really nice because it opens up and it's got a book and everything. I mean, And the records themselves, if you look at the records, I mean, really nice. I mean, this is thick paper. Oh no, it's on the Phillips label.
Yep, she had that hit dominate.
Here's JFK.
Oh, JFK.
Another JFK.
Cool.
Turn over to side two.
All right, this is a long mind control and stuff. Look at this.
Stanford Institute.
Oh my, yes.
Mind development.
That was the Stanford experiment.
This has got to be worth money. I mean, I've never even seen nothing like that.
Hey, that JFK album you just showed before that, is that early Dead Kennedys?
No, this is a documentary. This is about JFK.
I can tell you this: that album did not go to #1 with a bullet.
That's an original. That's before. This is the precursor. This is the precursor to this.
Oh shit!
That commie.
Which also led into that aerobics.
You can
And we got bird songs.
That's right. It's like a smorgasbord.
Part 2. Songs to celebrate. Now here it is, Hypnosis, right here.
Wow.
Oh, I've seen that damn album before.
So I got it all.
wait a minute. That Kreskin LP was on SSS International.
Yeah, it even has like diagrams and stuff.
Boy, he must
Is
have been
that
hard
crazy?
up.
The basic principles.
You ever listen to that album?
I know I never listened to it, honestly. Never once. I've had it here for years. I've never listened to it. I never had the need to. Maybe I should. I should just put it on. Let's see what the label looks like.
You are
Look at that label.
See, now, usually that label, okay, even though it was owned by Shelby Singleton, is more soul-orientated, okay, than it is
That's
country.
awesome looking.
Yeah.
But that's weird that's on that label. Very
Is that a cool looking label? That's wild.
yeah, that's on like all the.
And this is like mint shape. It doesn't even look like it's been played, you know, like. So I'll put this up too. I don't need it. If you want it, I'll start it at $10. You know,
already
even
knew in advance.
I'll start it at $10. Even if it's a $2 record, I'll still start it at $10.
Oh boy. This is giving me Rachel Robb flashbacks back when you would ask about things.
Here's those Hornet records I got.
Oh,
there you go.
And blah, blah, blah.
This is the one with the
oh yeah, I saw that one, yeah.
And this actually has sounds of the motorboats, but there's also music, you know, like that.
Nice.
You know, I've been involved in motorboating up close.
For the Hornets, I never heard.
Actually, and then I just pulled this one too. I got a lot of this stuff up there. But, this one is the Ghouls, Dracula's Deuce.
Sorry, I read that as Dracula's Dookie. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's
I know it was douche. Dracula's douche.
You know, that might be the only time that anybody in existence would not have to worry about a bloody stool.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Because it's Dracula.
There's that slang term, drop a deuce, you know.
Blah, it was the Jamba Juice I had an hour ago. Oh, Lord.
I had to drop the kids off at the pool.
Oh,
I do, John. I got a few radio records. I got a whole thing called Rock of Your Life from 1985. It's 90 episodes. They're, I guess, like 20-minute episodes. And they're 45 albums, and each side is a episode. And it really went on for 4 days in 1985. It was a 4-day July 4th weekend special. It was the history of rock and roll up to that point. It was the 30th anniversary of rock and roll. NBC produced it. And I forget who the host of it was. Charlie Kendall. 45 records, and it's amazing. I mean, literally, it's like, and they play the greatest hits of rock and roll. It's about literally a stroll down rock and roll. And I'll tell you what, like, I even wrote literally like a 20-page list of like all the songs, so I know what they are, because they didn't have no tip sheets or nothing. It just had literally side 1, side 2. I don't know what's on any of the records. So as I'm playing, I never heard it before. I'm playing the whole show like it's the whole series on my record player. It has the commercials in it, and literally, if I wanted to amass that record collection of having a version of, like, say, Black Dog on vinyl or anything that's on here, and it's the greatest hits of rock, from rock around the clock all the way up until 1985, which they had maybe U2, Cyndi Lauper was on there, whatever the most current thing, because it was like adding the new stuff in there. It's amazing.
Okay. That's funny.
I went to Goodwill several years back, but they had a whole box of the Casey Kasem shows, you know.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I would love that.
They didn't have the boxes, you know, because they came in like a box set, but there was like 3 or 4 albums to each show, and I got them for like 50 cents each record, and
that's awesome.
And they were like 77, 78, 79 in there.
Wow, that's great.
But I ended up listing them on eBay, and man, I got like $40 for the set.
I'm sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everyone
America's Top 40.
Yeah.
Those are for radio.
And you know what it is? It's a time capsule because it's actually playing what was on the radio at that time. And when you hear it with the commercials, and I'll tell you what, I argue this a lot. Radio records are some of the best mixes and pressings in all of records because those records had to be played on the radio themselves, which they were toned to be played on any speaker, on any device that could capture the sound. It had to sound good. So it was the most universal mix, and some of the cuts are the most, like only way you'd ever hear it. Sometimes there's edited ones and things, but I'll tell you what, some of the mixes, I put them up against some of the remasters I've ever heard even. They're phenomenally mixed and cut and everything.
Casey Kasem collection would have been a great to grab.
Oh, definitely.
Originally, I looked on Discogs, and originally they came in a nice box. Each one had a box. So if you had the box along with the record, you can get some big bucks for them.
And I'll tell you what, if I ever did a tag, a record tag, my record tag is going to be a radio record tag. Because radio records don't get enough love. I'm a really defender of the radio records. And, but people have them in their collection. They never bring them out. Do you have any, Randy?
I don't.
Okay. So I guess people that do have the radio records, they would play along or whatever, Oh,
wait a minute. I do, along with that collection, I'm not familiar with it, but on the West Coast, there was also another guy like Casey Kasem. I can't remember his name. But I still have those.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
The Wolfman Jack stuff for radio?
No. He's talking about when the guy that took over for Casey Kasem after on American Stella, some Stevens or whatever.
Shadow Stevens.
Stevens.
Yeah.
I don't know if he took over for Casey Kasem, but he was on at the same time. It was like the top. It wasn't the top 40. It was like the top 100.
Right. I know what you mean. Maybe Scott Muni.
Wait.
I
remember I was listening to Casey Kasem's Top 40 all the time in the late 80s. Shao Stevens took over the last week of July or August. The original Top 40 show for 88, 89. Yeah.
But he was always, when he talks, he introduces a show and stuff. He's in Hollywood.
Right.
It was a California local type thing.
I got you.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, there were a lot of radio shows that were pressed on record. I mean, you have the Lost Lennon tapes, 2 different kinds. You have, literally, even all the Beatles shows that were nationally on record, you can find those.
You know what I also have is I have the Neil Young, Blondie. I found these in that same box.
Right.
I think it was like somebody maybe from the radio or something,
Yeah.
But the Neil Young was very cool, and the Blondie.
You would find definitely they would have shows that are focused on individual artists. I have one on Air Supply. It was called Spotlight, and it was a national show from 1982. Then you got King Biscuit Flower Hour. Those concerts were all
2 of them. I had two
Right.
King Biscuit albums. I can tell you
love
the first
those.
one.
I have
one,
Kiss and
one
Molly
side
Crew.
was the Cars, and the other side was April Wine. So
That's
I
why
remember
mine is
that one.
one side's Kiss and one's Motley Crue, and then they also had what's the name of the show? Metal Shop. Metal Shop was pressed on record, which was an all heavy metal show hosted by Dee Snider. And there's a lot of different shows, and I love looking for them, and they do exist out there. But some of them do go for good money. They really do. Some of them do.
Yeah, I think one of my Ramones, one of my Ramones CDs is King Biscuit. That was pretty cool to get.
Yeah, I love that
I'm
show.
so glad that they went and reissued some of that stuff, depending
Right.
on the band. I think I've got in the CD collection, I've got an April, maybe it could be the same April Wine show, I don't know, but complete King Biscuit. I've got Black Oak, Arkansas from '76, King Biscuit.
Oh wow!
I've got a handful of stuff, but that's CDs, not albums. But I wanted to say though, ladies and gentlemen, before we really wind this down, we're almost at 2.5, and that's pretty good. I thank everybody here on the panel. That I wasn't even sure how this was going to turn out today. I know Friday
has to be grand
too, but Stephen John's got that. Bill, how you doing?
A good
I'm
time.
from California. You're talking about Fraser? Are you talking about Fraser Smith?
No, man. I'll have to dig them out next show, and I'll bring them up.
But I just want to say thank you, everybody. Kindly like and subscribe if you care to just to stay in the know. I don't know when we're doing our next one because this one was a surprise, and that's why I called it surprise.
You said not until Monday or Tuesday.
I know. I was a fibber face. I sometimes.
Oh no, you taking it as it comes. That's not fibbing, really.
That's what Linda Lovelace said.
A great show. That the topics were like from different.
All over the place.
And then Mello's favorite topic was the porn video.
Yeah, right.
And
Mello knows I'm kidding.
Yes,
love you, Johnny.
Yes.
I got a bunch of what millimeter films are those? What were they?
16. I have 6. I have all of it. 35, 16, and 8.
I got a bunch that I found years ago that are the old sci-fi, like Attack of the Fly and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You still got them?
Yeah. If you got a second, Paul?
Yeah.
Let me grab them.
Hey, man, I'll do some trades with you. That'd be cool.
Well, make it
because if he has no use for them, I'll definitely. I love movie trailers. I have thousands of them, literally thousands of movie trailers and commercials, and all for the 70s. I have toy commercials.
Eric's asking, do you have a 35mm projector or just the films?
I have a projector too. It's dismantled. I got to figure out how to put it together.
Here's one here.
That's an 8mm. Yeah, that's neat.
Is these Castle films?
Undead.
Kind of. Yeah.
Never seen that.
I was a teenage werewolf.
Cool.
See that one? Would you please?
I love the art on the box. It's just as much.
Oh, they're awesome. Oh, yeah, I used to have that. I've sold some of these.
The back of the advertisements.
Yeah, these are 8mm. They're the home market ones. Used to get them in Kmart.
The Spider.
That's a good one.
Earth versus the Flying Saucer.
How did you get?
I've seen that.
How did you get these?
I've seen that one on TV.
I found them at an old record store years ago. It's still there, but he has, and I ended up getting a bunch of boxing ones too. I got those up there.
Wow.
Do you have a projector?
I do, but I need the bulb. My brother.
Yeah,
you need to get a bulb.
Yeah, so that's
it's easy to get a bulb. You can get them right on eBay.
Nice.
There it is, man.
Yay.
Awesome. Hey, if you ever want to do a trade or you want to par with them, I'll look me up.
All right, we'll do a trade.
Welcome. This is what we try to do here, Ernesto. The Black Hawk films had complete silent short films, 10 to 20 minutes long, of Laurel and Hardy, Buster Keaton, Chaplin, etc. That would have been cool too. So here's my little stack of Garage 45s for trade.
I put that out there. Anybody in the vinyl community, if you got film, I'll trade any of vinyl stuff that shit.
So here's the 70s story, right, for me. And I'd say at least mid to late 70s. So the public library that I lived like 5 minutes away from, okay, one day they decided to have this big ass sale. They're like 10 cents a piece for each of the 8mm that they had.
Wow.
And I am going, there was a lot of good shit in those boxes. There was like about 2 or 3 boxes worth, right? And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I only got enough for about $5. So I went off and I asked the librarian, I go, look, I said, I'm planning on, this is my first, I've never bought these things before. I'm not sure how well, these are going to be. I said, I found like about close to $7.50 worth. And I said, will you take $5 because that's all I've got? And they're like, we don't even want to see them.
That's a good.
We'll take it for $5. I'm like, so I walked out with this box with about 75. Awesome. 8. I was just at them. So here's the thing: we found a projector like about a week or two before that. This is too funny, right? But like Randy's issue, the bulb was screwed up. There was a specialty shop in the next town over in Cary, Illinois, and I had to get it on special order. So it took a couple weeks, right? Yeah. So I had the projector, had the films, no bulb until a couple weeks. So it took 2 weeks to get there. And I'm like, oh, I want to see that. Because I
must have tortured you too.
I mean, I knew they weren't full.
Yeah, but you want to have the fun of put them on. How did you lose them?
How did I lose them? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm in a move. Like I think it was in the 90s. I lost them in a move.
Sucks.
But so when like the bulb came and Grandma paid for the bulb. Okay. Yeah, grandmas are nice like that. And so we managed to we had a white sheet. And we're just like, I pinned it. I'm like, okay. I said, let's see, because I'm trying to learn this, right? Because Grandma couldn't do it with her fingers. So I'm sitting here trying to make sure I don't fuck this stuff up. And I managed to do all right. Yay, I should have been in the AV club.
Right.
So I fired that little thing off, and one of the things was a Laurel and Hardy. And my grandma loved Laurel, and she's just like, she's laughing her ass off. And I'm like, and we made popcorn, Jiffy Pop and stuff.
Yeah, it's so much fun watching those, man.
Yeah. That was fun memories.
We had, my dad had all the films from when we were kids, and I just remember when he had that camera, that light was so bright. All you did was like,
it made a good picture.
Like a horror movie,
Yeah.
It still looked good on the screen, though.
Yeah. But those,
that's what I love.
There you go. Psycho, the first time I projected Super 8 films, I used the back of a big Beatles poster as the screen. See, there you go. That would have worked. Oh, what's he got here?
See, this is a 16mm version.
Of 1948.
This is a 16mm version of, here's a Castle Films.
Who would have been the big basketball stars in 48?
Those are the big ones, yeah.
Yeah, these are big ones.
Adventure and animal movies. See the elephant crap in front of your face.
You'll get
in black and white
nowadays.
Right?
Paul, are you in a hurry to leave? Because I have an old camera. I'd like to show you.
Oh,
okay.
I gotta plug in.
You can do that another time if you want. It doesn't
matter. No,
my phone's gonna die soon.
Okay, hold on a second.
Mello's phone's gonna die.
I have to hurry up and plug it in.
Funeral service will be at 2:00 Sunday for Mello's phone. Da, 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 da. I wonder what this camera's going to look like.
I have a bunch of cameras as well.
It's a special camera. If Superman looks into it, he lands in the Phantom Zone.
I got cameras from the turn of the century.
Damn you, Zod.
Journal Zod, yeah.
Oh boy. I will confess though. I mean, I thought Margot Kidder was cute, but Valerie Perrin.
Hey, kitty.
Oh, yay! See, since Toby Tobins is being, she's sleeping in her tree. Toby Tobin says, "See, there's another cat on screen. It ain't you." Toby's like, "I don't give a shit." How you doing, kitty? What's your name?
That's Farley.
Oh, Farley.
He's named after Chris Farley.
Of course. Rest in peace, Chris. Hey, Trish.
All right.
Yes, we need a White Russian. Stat.
Oh,
look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
wow.
Yes.
That's nice.
Holiday on it?
Probably is, Jen.
Remember?
Yeah.
Well, oh, my God. Yes.
And I
got one of those.
I have an old Packard Bell.
That would have been fun.
Tractor as well. We got it from my
Yes.
wife's father. And these are the size of the film that it was taken.
Yep. Those are 8s, right?
Oh, there you go.
Some of them are actually, there's a family film on here on some of these. So,
November 22nd, 1963. Dallas. What the hell?
That looks like that's something they filmed that's what they filmed the Zapruder on right there.
It's called a Holiday 2 or something. So
yeah. Holiday 2.
Not to be confused with Holiday or Holiday 3.
I just thought I'd seen that we had that was a topic. I thought I'd show it.
Sure.
The JFK tapes, the real ones.
That's right, everybody. You will find out soon the true identity of all of the people that murdered me.
I'm saying this is the family tape, but it could be the JFK tape.
Yeah, that's right.
Or either that or the Melody tape.
YouTube's gonna go, what the hell is he talking about? We're spoofing YouTube. We're slightly spoofing. Since they don't know how to take a joke. Look,
that's
Trish
an old
doesn't
camera.
Believe that it's you. Yeah. She goes, Johnny, is that you?
In the flesh. I last time I checked my wallet, my driver's license.
Nobody wants to see my driver's license. I asked for a retake. They're like, we don't have time. I look like a toothless gnome, you pieces of shit. I got to be stuck with this till 26. Does Mello have any spy cameras and like the ones that open up the tiny ones? Yeah. Hey, maybe Mello's got. Listen, Mello, do you happen to have any little spy cameras from Control or Chaos?
Yeah, Mello's going to have to show all the comic book.
That's a 3D camera. Yeah, and the Psyko. This is old right there.
I've never seen a 3D camera before.
That's an old one. But here, I want to show you something. You want to talk about cameras? There we go. Look at this.
That takes your soul. Hey, Paul Simon approved.
Oh, you got a lot of cameras.
You got any disc cameras?
Oh my God, I had one.
Look at
that.
Wow.
It's a bitch to process that film now if you come across that stuff.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think there's only one person in the country that can do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big 35 millimeter lens right there.
Ultraman and Johnny Psyko. I came across the Ultraman Season 1 DVD box set at the Goodwill the other day. I was so pissed. All the discs were out of it. Somebody stole it. Like, thanks a bunch, jackasses. Wait a minute. $6 million man. We can rebuild him with technology.
That's the movie viewer.
Oh, God. I know what you're talking about. I had one of those when I was a kid. I did.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I just see a Beatles tape track up there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? I love that thing. That thing's incredible. That is right there. It's a VHS of Yellow Submarine. I have a wire that's hanging over.
The $6 million man was a stag party with Lindsay Wagner as Bionic Woman, and Oscar Goldman was.
So that's like my whole. That's just one shelf of stuff right there. Cool. That's an Elvisopoly. That's from 1961. Drinking straws.
Oh my! With asbestos lining for your protection.
There's a Rubik's Cube from the 80s. That box right there is a 1928 camera, 16 millimeter camera.
We need the
little pocket camera. And this is an unopened tape of Ampex for the reel to reel. I have a bunch of stuff. These are weird. These things, I don't know what they are. They're like for setting glasses, I think. Here's an original Old Coke bottle, original Mountain Dew.
Exactly, Mega.
I got some weird stuff. This is pretty cool. This is a picture of me jamming 20 years ago. Look at this. That's me rocking, I'll tell you.
2,000 mellow, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I just got tapes. I got things glowing here on the wall. I have things falling.
Oh God, Captain Nice, and that was a pilot. And of course, who was Captain Nice? It was the dude that would end up in Boy Meets World. The teacher was Captain Nice.
Stones, Jetsons.
It's a little room tour.
Felix the Cat.
I like that Felix the Cat comic. I'm like anything Peanuts or Felix the Cat.
I painted that picture of the dog head.
That dog looks tripping.
Yeah, it is. That's Tony Bennett's autograph. That's Gary Lewitt's autograph. Chubby Checker.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Is that
Chubby Checker's autograph? The Dub's autograph.
The Dub?
Yeah, Chubby Checker's autograph. My friend got it. My friend got it, actually. And then I got a couple of things up there. And this is like walking into the place. Honestly, this is a workstation.
Wow.
Time machine.
All the records. It is. It's like a time machine. Yeah, I got Brian May and Jimmy Snuka.
Oh boy.
There's a Billboard magazine.
Yeah, that's my favorite Billboard magazine right there from 1980. It's the John Lennon issue.
Oh, cool.
It's incredible. There's a Led Zeppelin poster from 1968. There's soundtracks. My favorite soundtracks. That's a sealed double fantasy. That's Rolling Stone.
I remember that issue.
That's my Mr. Bungle long box.
Bungle.
Long box cover right there. I got stuff galore over here. There's my desk where I sit. That's where I sit right there. I mean, and there's the thing, and there's my smoking station next to the films.
Wow.
And if you go down, we just go around, and it's just every day. Oh, this is pretty cool. Oh.
Every day he's shuffling.
Oh
yeah,
this came out. This is already 4 years old already. 2020, and I got a few boxes. I figure I'd put them up.
Send it to Richard for a taste test.
Here's another. Here's a projector. Elmo, the transfer unit. Thank you, Dusty. Yeah, that's an. I sculpted that Oscar there.
Hey, Eric says, Mello, I hope you're not smoking next to nitrate films.
No, I'm not. And I sculpted the Batman, this Spider-Man, and this Superman.
Sculpted those.
I did.
Oh, that's freaking good.
Yeah.
This right here is an original 1950s kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope. I see one of those.
This is one of the first ones right here.
Mm-hmm.
You can get big bucks for those, man.
Yeah, this I think it would. Yeah. And see that right there, this bottle right here, Night Train. That's what the song Guns N' Roses. I'm on a night train. That's what it's written about.
Yeah.
Mello's a millionaire and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah.
Really.
See this Supergirl. I painted this Supergirl. This was a Danger Girl action figure. So I decided to turn it into Supergirl. And then I got like CDs galore. I got a bunch of CDs. Just going over. There's another Queen poster right there. That one's with Mop the Hoople.
Colorado, cool. 74.
And these are Selective Visions. That's ALO and Complete Beatles.
Oh, like laser discs.
Yeah.
Yep. And here's a poster I really love. I'm a big fan of Saturday Night Fever. This was the double feature they had special with the PG version.
I barely
Saturday Night Fever in Greece. Yeah, it was together. Here's another camera right here. That's in the box right here. It's a it's a de jour. Here's like all car stuff, Cadillac. These are all 45s, all in different books. I mean, like this is all the Platters. This is all Connie Francis. This whole thing right here is Johnny Cash. These are all soundtracks. And then these are all the oldies records that my man collected. I mean, again, I'm still trying to go through them. I don't know these artists, and these are all car stuff. These are things from the, late 60s, mid 60s to late 60s to the early 70s. They're like dealership kits. That's an Yahtzee game from, I think, 1965. There's an 8-track player right there. There's a record vacuum, a Ronco record vacuum in the box.
Oh, that's amazing.
This is just one room, man. I'm telling you, there's a Saturday Night Fever Select Division.
You live at a cheap mall, yeah.
And I have the players, too. Like, if I go in this room, look at this lineup right here.
Oh, my Lord.
That's the Select Division right there. So I have different things. Look at this. That's from 1989. And then I got costumes, different things. And look over here. These are all DVDs, shows, like different shows, original shows, car, films, thousands. Thousands and thousands. Music shows, TV shows, features, cartoons, doo-wop. I mean, you want to talk about doo-wop, Johnny. I have all original concerts. Kenny Vance, and I got the Cordettes, and I got the Angels, and I got, you name it, my man collected. He had a tape trading business. So I have about 10,000 titles, gangster films. There's an Elvis thing. Here's all the comics. I got thousands of comics. I mean, you want to talk about look at this here. Common stuff around here, folks. There's Fantastic Four, 1964 right there, 32. And then I got DVDs. There's all different kinds of musical titles. Tom Jones, Bill Black, Kenny Rogers, Chuck Berry.
Jeez.
You're sitting on a bundle of money.
I know, but how do I extract the money? I want to sell this. If you know anybody, this is going up next. If you know anybody who likes surf films, there's a whole box set of surf films.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah, DVD.
It's DVD?
Yeah, it's DVD. And look at this. This is a collector's edition of TV Guide, and you open it up.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
It's the reproduction of the Elvis one. This is limited edition.
The best thing to do, like on eBay, and I know it sucks because
I got you on TV.
You don't trust it selling for the price you want, but the best thing is to put them at $1 and let them work their way up. If they're collecting,
right. Yeah, right.
Big bucks.
That's an original picture of Randy Rhoads with Quiet Riot. That's a picture I painted myself, but you can see there's a glare. And I just go around, man. I mean, and then I have another room where I just got all kinds of other stuff. And these are all the books and posters and vintage magazines and just, there's a Hess trucks and it's just crazy. Popular Science from 1954.
Wow.
I know it's so overwhelming. You don't know where to start when you want to sell stuff.
I know. I'm concentrating on the films. The films are where it's at, really.
Yeah. Bob Backlund.
Look at this. This is an original postcard right here from the 70s. That it's the original ones that Bruce used.
Oh, cool. Really?
It's an original postcard from Asbury Park. So for people that like Bruce, I mean, they would love that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Thank God it's Friday. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday. I'm ready to go out.
Yeah, and that's what. No offense, this is what we're going to do. Oh wow, there you go. Because I'm gonna have to wrap this up for a different reason.
Yeah,
but we can always come back to this because I mean.
Yeah, I'm glad I had fun.
Does Mello dress up for the kids at the hospital?
When I'm asked to. I've played at hospitals, definitely. Oops, let me change my phone back.
Yeah. Nice. Anyways, I appreciate the 32 people that are on here right now for taking a look at all this stuff and enjoying. We almost were on for 3 hours almost.
I know. I gotta go. I'm missing karaoke.
I don't know when we're doing our next show. We'll try to, it'll be fly off the seat of the pants like we always do. I appreciate everybody being here on panel tonight. Appreciate my audience. I really do love you guys.
Keep a look at my channel.
16 millimeter Kingdom on
16 millimeter Kingdom.
Check out the treasures that he has for sale on eBay.
Yeah, eventually this stuff will work its way on eBay.
Tell them your eBay thing again.
I put it in the chat. It's 16 millimeter Kingdom. And if you see something in the video that you like and you want, reach out to me and let me know. Hey, put that up on eBay. I'll buy it from you.
Exactly.
Let me know.
Exactly. Psycho's Platters is a Love Peace production.